Since the BYD Shark showed up, we've been pushing it hard. But some blokes still weren't convinced. So we stepped it up, took it to the sand towing a boat. And for the fellas in pink Mini Coopers on their way to Pilates, that still wasn't enough. So we went all in. Spoiler, with 2.5 tons behind it, the Shark smoked a tuned Ram 2500. Stick around, mate. This thing keeps shutting people up.
Good morning and welcome back to the channel. So everyone's been waiting for the tow test. Guess what we got? Martin's brought his Austrac camper here. So it's a full off-road hybrid caravan. Okay, so it's the Tanami X13B. And you're looking at a 2.2 ton. So we're doing a very scientific test now. We've got the Caravan, and what we're gonna do is, I've got a 300 kilo scale here, and we're gonna put a jack stand on the 300 kilo scale first. Watch this, and then we're gonna zero it. Okay, so you can see here what we're doing, and then we're gonna check the tow ball weight. Very scientific method. So we've done our little test, and we've got sitting at 233, as you can see. 233 rough ball weight, okay, which the BYD Shark is good for 250. So we're gonna get rid of the Tank 500 now, and we're gonna get the BYD Shark. So this Caravan currently in the weight sitting is weighing at about 2.4 ton, 2.4 and 2.5 ton. One thing I did want to do was I wanted to put my stock wheels and tires, because I know everyone's going to say, oh, the fuel consumption's high. Yes, because I'm running literally RT tires. They're a 33 and they're hanging outside the guards. Now, and if anyone knows, with EVs, they try and get them as efficient as possible by bringing them inside the guards. They've got all these nice diffusers here to help with any resistance against coming into the wind. However, I've just put the most aggressive tires I can fit on here. It's poking pretty hard, and what's going to happen is it's going to make my fuel consumption seem higher whilst towing this. Now, I wanted to put my stock wheels and tires on it. However, so I've stripped the tire off the rim, and I don't have time to put them back on the rim and swap tire pressure sensors and everything and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, because I've ripped the valves out of it. I don't have time to do that, so we're just gonna run it like this, as we are, with aggressive tires on it, and see what the fuel consumption's like. My plan of attack is to sit at 100k an hour, just sit at 100 and see how it does. So I'm not gonna sit at 110, I'm gonna sit at 100, which is, everyone's told me, is the natural speed limit for towing caravans around Australia. So let's do 100k an hour, let's keep it legal, and let's see what the fuel consumption does. My state of charge on my Shark is currently charging, so I think it's sitting at around 76% at the moment. So we'll keep it at around 76. We'll leave here, it'll be in EV for about the first 6% charge, or whatever it is by the time we leave. But once we get on the freeway, in towing mode, it'll automatically kick on the engine. So let's see how we go. All right, we're punching in 6.5 kilowatts. We're sitting at 84% charge, 47 minutes remaining. So let's see how we go. How cool is this? So when you're getting a trailer, right, and you're trying to hook up a trailer to your car, this is a really cool feature that I found on the BYD Shark. Is if you tap this button, it says blah, 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 prior to using towing mode. Look at this, it shows you exactly where your tow bar is. So what we're gonna do is, I'm going to reverse in. How cool is that? Mate, how cool is that? Okay, so we're gonna do a 0 to 100 test on a flat ground. This is a 100 zone. Pulled over, and I'm gonna accelerate, and let's see what this thing does 0 to 100. Let's go. Wait for all the cars to pass. You can see all the cars going past in the little We've just filled up. up over there on that Bowser. Full tank of fuel. I'm gonna put some air in the tires and we're gonna pump them up too. Let's have a look. 36, sorry, no load. And then for a load, you're looking at 42 PSI, okay? So we're gonna pump the rear up to 42 PSI and leave the front at 36. And then whilst we're here, because there's a the BP Pulse charger, I'm gonna connect it to the DC charger and see what sort of speeds we can get. So let's get it connected. I already got the app. So this side's 109 while using the app. So you scan this bad boy down here. That'll SCAD. I wanna use connector 2, which is 100 kilowatt. We'll click on that. I'll use my Google Pay, blah, blah, blah. Let's get this bad boy. Plug this bad boy in. We're charging at 4.6 kilowatts. Let's see what it gets up to. So that reads 8.4 and I'm reading 7.3 at the car. And then it's not 8.1 here. So that's the voltage drop from the cable to the car. So we're sitting at 17.1 kilowatts and 82% and 24 minutes remaining to charge. But we're gonna head out of here anyway because we don't need that, because guess what? This car will run on petrol. So let's get out of here and let's go and do some towing. We're back on the road. I've put the pressure up in the rear to 42 PSI according to the servo, but my car's still saying 35, so I'm not sure what the go with that is. Actually, it's dropped. We need to go to the workshop. It dropped my pressure. It doesn't work. Bro, my rear's at 32. We need to go to the workshop. We're gonna pump up the tires. So let's quickly go to the workshop first. We're never gonna get out of here. We'll go to the workshop, pump up the tires quickly. The servo, the inflator was broken, so we'll just head there and quickly pump up the tires. Let's get out of here. 32 PSI, wow. Sammy, I need to pump up the tires, they're flat. Currently, we've taken off and we're driving in trailer towing mode with HEV switched on. However, the engine doesn't kick in until you get down to the state of charge, which is locked at. So at the moment, we can turn it up to 70. So as soon as I get to 70, it'll switch the engine on. So you can adjust it between 50 and 70. So we're gonna set it at 70, okay? The car's currently at 77%. I'm gonna try and get rid of this 7% battery quickly so we can turn the engine on and we can reset the fuel and see what it does when you've got no power at all, okay? So I'm gonna start accelerating hard, get this, actually let's put an EV, let's just use EV only, it's 76. I'm just gonna give it a bit of a hiding in EV mode. Trailer brake's working well. Okay, so with our trailer braking system, you can actually adjust it up here. So you can see here, I've installed this and we're making a plug and play harness for the BYD Shark. So you'll be able to plug in our tow controller, okay, with a full screen you can see here, and you've got different modes. Okay, so you can see here all the different size trailers, B7, B9, B1. I'm gonna put it on a medium. Okay, it tells you there's a trailer connected. This is your emergency override, so you can emergency override in case there's an emergency and say for instance you need to pull the trailer straight. So you can press this override and it'll override the trailer. So when I press now, you'll see it coming up and telling you the trailer brake is working, as well as if I use this just to slow the vehicle down. You can see it's fully slowing down. And then you can also change when it is emergency braking, how much the maximum force it'll apply. So 7.8, so I'm gonna turn it up to 8. So this means is when you press this button, that's the trailer brakes, what it's doing. So you'll be able to set your trailer brakes. There's a gyro inside the braking control unit that tells the car whether it's braking or accelerating, so it knows and it can assist. So it not only uses the brake lights to trigger it, it also uses inertia, okay? You can order that at savagetech.com.au. But yeah, it's a pretty cool brake control unit, so let's get on, let's get out of here. Oh no, look at this, look at the traffic. What on earth, why did I come this way? Okay, so we're at 70% charge. We're in towing mode now. Okay, I've just switched on the engine, it's just dropped to 69%. Let's see what the fuel consumption does. I've reset everything, okay? So let's see what fuel we run, okay? So down here is our total fuel consumption, okay? I've reset it all on the dash. I've reset my trip computer too. So let's see what we get towing. This is gonna be the interesting part. And we're stuck in traffic.
We were just cruising along, enjoying the day, when we spotted a Ram 2500 towing 3.5 tons. One thing led to another, and well, forget the chill drive. It was drag race time. Here's how it went down.
Now look at this. Look at that. Look at the smoke it's blowing. Fully tuned Cummins engine. Mate, BYD Shark. We were driving along. This bloody ram kept going blut and sooting us. Yeah, soot. Get the mutt. Anyway, sooting us, and I was like, oh, you know what? Fuck it. We're sitting in traffic, we left the gap and we just gassed it. Anyway, we did it twice. Because the first time apparently he said I went too early or something, it was some excuse. So the next time I said, okay, let's go again. We went again. Did you see it, mate? Did you see the BYD Shark towing the 2.5 ton Caravan on the back, right? Stock car versus you got a Ram 2.5 with towing an 80 series on the back of it, probably gutted, stripped out. Mate, come on. Look at that, we chopped him. We're meant to be doing a fuel consumption test, but instead, let's see if we merge onto this freeway. We're going to be doing a fuel consumption test, instead we're doing drag racing with bloody Caravans on the back. Anyway, we're going to do this fuel consumption test now.
We do next week, eh?
Yeah, let's continue driving normally. Mate, the horsepower in this thing's insane. I love it. Oh, let's go. Let's continue with our test. Anyway, so far so good. We're at 68% voltage, so it's holding the voltage pretty well. But yeah, anyway. Oh, I love it. Let's go. So maintaining speed is really easy. So we're doing 92, 93, just cruising along the freeway. Uphill, it literally just cruises up it with ease. So it's actually hard to stay under the speed limit. That's why we need cruise control, would be nice. Because this thing's got too much power, I'm not even kidding you. Like, you come up a hill and you just gotta just tip it and it just goes, pulls it like effortless up the hill. Anyway, cruise control would be great, BYD. But yeah, it's doing it effortless. It's not dropping percentage. We're driving pretty normal. We're doing like 95k an hour, getting percentage in kilometers an hour. We're talking about so much charge. Anyway, so it's driving really easy. It's so easy to speed. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, it picks up speed so easily, like ridiculous. Like I need a speed limiter or something. They have got a speed limiter in a car, but it doesn't cap the speed limit. It just warns you and goes, you're speeding. No, I want to be able to put my foot flat and it just stay at 100 would be great, because it's very, very hard to not speed in this thing because it's got so much torque. Anyway, so far so good. We're sitting at 20 litres per 100, okay, which I think is pretty good considering we're towing this bad boy. We're sitting on 99, so we're averaging between, say, 90 to 100, you know, ish. We're just trying to stay around there as best as we can because it's hard without cruise control. But yeah, so far so good. Up the hills, piss. Let's see how we do up the Gateway motorway. That'll be interesting, hey? The Gateway's pretty steep, so let's see how we do. Okay, I'm letting Martin do a tow test because he's obviously done a lot of towing. So Martin's done a lot of towing. So Martin's gonna jump in and have a drive. He owns a Canon 2 litre, which is a great vehicle. Owned it for 3 years. That's how we met each other, because he found me on YouTube. Martin was working for me. Anyway, now we're just good mates and we're doing some reviews together and having some fun. So Martin hasn't towed. Now Martin has got a really big right foot. So Martin, we're trying to do a fuel consumption test, not a let's send it test.
We did a whole year on the Canon, towing a 3-ton Caravan.
So you did a whole year in the thing. So let's accelerate onto this freeway safely, and let's see if we can keep the fuel economy pretty good. And let's see how it goes up the Gateway motorway, because Martin's towed this Caravan everywhere.
Whole East Coast.
Whole East Coast, up to Cairns, up to inland, everywhere. Anyway, so Martin is struggling to drive.
I'm gonna put a string and I start pulling the string gentle.
He said it's too easy to speed, and I'm like, bro, just take it easy. He's like, man, I'm barely touching it. I told you, man. It's literally, it just takes off. It's like ridiculous. Anyway, heading towards the Gateway motorway.
95.
I can feel you going like this. You just keep
Oh, let me get used to it, huh?
It's hard, is it?
Oh, that's it. That's 95. If I put it a mule harder, it goes to look.
It's crazy, eh?
That's it. I'll hold the 98.
So what are you saying? It's really got a lot of power?
Yeah, and it will take a few minutes to get used to as well because
you know what actually
it's just go 1
You know what I
millimeter.
just thought when towing? You know what actually might be good, a throttle controller to make the throttle less sensitive. Because it's actually too responsive. Like you literally touch it 1% and it just takes off like
Yeah, that's what I feel. You just go 1 millimeter and she goes another 5 k's an hour, which is really
Brakes good?
Brakes good, yeah.
I mean that's the brake controller as well helping. But it brakes good, eh?
Yeah,
Okay, so let's just sit at 80 k's on this Gateway motorway. I mean, I reckon it could do 110 up here, to be honest. Probably have no battery at the top, but
you can't really tell on video how steep that is, but it is.
It was 100 back there. Now we're doing 80 zone, okay? So for the Karens out there, this is the 80 zone now. So we're
no
doing
flakes
80.
everywhere.
Okay.
I'm not pushing. I'm just holding the throttle on the same position,
Like
and she's
1 mil.
speeding up like literally the same speed.
Martin's dying to accelerate, and I keep telling him, no, we're not allowed to. We're doing a fuel consumption test. We're doing a fuel consumption test, Martin. It's okay, mate. You just breathe. It's okay.
Well, look at that. I'm not touching anything.
Yeah.
It's still braking downhill. Amazing. Caravan goes with the car, so you don't feel the pulling, but also you don't feel the extra braking on the car when the electric brake control is not set it up properly. What happens is you touch the brakes downhill and you feel the Caravan pushing from behind.
Yeah.
Now it's like we have nothing on the
Well, our
back.
brake
literally.
controllers-
So brake controller is doing insane work.
Yeah, the brake controller
Insane.
can be set up really
And
easily on this.
it's very smart as well because uphill you don't feel the pull when you touch a brake, but downhill you don't feel that pushing either. So with my brake controller on my car, I have to constantly go in more voltage,
That's the
less
one with
voltage.
the knob, yeah?
Exactly. Yeah.
In
Can't
this
say
car,
the brain, but
there's nowhere to put a knob in this car, so that's why our one mounted up there. How good is that? Look at that, so sexy. Woo!
You can see the voltage you put it on the brake as well.
Yeah,
Every
you can
time
see
touch
everything. It's
the
a full
brakes and-
screen. You can make sure everything's working. It's not just some LEDs lighting up. So far, so good towing in this bad boy. I just wish we had cruise control, hey? Do you reckon we need it?
I don't really use cruise control.
Yeah, you
at all.
don't, eh?
Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan, but
Would you use it in this? Because it's really sensitive.
I mean, yeah, well, on a freeway there's no traffic or anything you want maybe to use for a while, yeah? Just put the cruise control and you know that she's gonna
People
hold
say
it.
it's illegal and whatever, but the matter of the fact is if you've got a bicycle on the back, you want to use cruise control, you can't. So
Yes.
anyway, we do an adapter for the Tank 500s and that, but I think in this car, I wouldn't do the adapter because it actually needs the tow mode on this. It works really well because the tow mode in this charges the battery and keeps it charged up. So you couldn't just do a bypass like our harness for the other cars. So we just got to Off-Track Campers and we've done 88 kilometers. You can see in the bottom right here, 70% of charge. It's held it at 70%, averaging 20 litres per 100. Now remember, I'm on RT tyres. If you're gonna be towing with a car with stock tyres, I reckon you'd get that down to probably 18, 19 litres per 100. Depending on your setup, depending on your driving style, this thing handles it, does it with ease. It's insane. Towing up hills is a breeze. Like honestly, like I can't explain to you. Reversing the Caravan is so easy because you don't have gears. It's just, it does it with ease. So anyway, we're gonna do some more testing, but so far it's amazing.
Byron said it. So far, it's amazing. Stay tuned for more vids with this Chinese beast. Thanks for joining us today. Have a good one. Peace out.